mean, is that our last
September
night?
30th.
I put a hard deadline in there for, in our. That's a
So
lot.
we will have another meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Budget.
We would have September.
Yep.
We actually should go to September and not losing to try to have a
I was thinking on the way in, is it possible that we have a workshop meeting to deal with just the budget?
I'll let them forward.
Okay.
If they have to
Sunshine.
do, yeah.
It might have to be an
And they have to do
announcement.
a temporary workshop
Yeah,
meeting.
it's not gonna happen, because they'd have to advertise it, and
I just think it would be a nice
we
week.
don't know who to start.
Yeah, but we maybe, with the timeframe from now to your next meeting, in a month, maybe. Just start. Actually, we'll have sunshine law up and see if I can find that.
Okay, well, they could even do it at the park on Friday night.
Unofficially.
And then you don't have
And it's
to come here,
advertised.
as long as it's advertised, it's on the website.
Actually works.
Leave my brain after this, it just goes all over the place, but it gets, usually gets us where we're gonna go.
How are you gonna do, how are you saying around the advertising?
Well, so I have to decide, like,
How many days to post it?
are advertised. So if we slap up informal meeting announcement with the park announcement, depending on the timeline of it, it's like, if we may,
I like it.
how many of our
Just do it without, not gonna do ours.
Actually,
Yeah, so I was thinking, it would be nicer before next month's meeting to have that.
I agree.
in progress.
So then we could actually come to the meeting and see where we're at.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then we have to formally.
I think we got good things. We have people who have been working and thinking about each one of these projects for months.
I might, because the digital has been completely, like, put together consistent board supervisors to review what they're doing. I agree, but if they had any questions or comments or concerns, I wanted to ask them.
Like I said, none of these,
Following this, then it should be all right.
like I said, none of these are really new ideas.
I gave it to, and then asked for comments.
Basically, I think they just want
We didn't have any money. We didn't have any money. We're just going around in circles.
here, look, I take some cups, there's,
Everybody ready? Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Next step is, what's next step?
She happened to love this. Oh, I wasn't here.
No minutes review.
oh, I forgot to attach those.
You want to just bring them up to us then, or are they up front there?
They are not attached to either. I wasn't in the office today, so I'm
It's
just.
fine, you work on an audit, so we forgive you.
What do you think? How do we play?
Both me, Kelly, and Christy looked over it, so,
Can we put that towards?
not Kelly, sorry, going in the summer.
They written an email way back when, because Christy was like, can you guys look over this, since it's such a long time before the next meeting, so you might.
Oh,
want
so it
to-
was June's meeting.
Yeah, it's all linked
to.
in here.
So they did send them.
Yeah, it was sent
Good,
out right away.
good.
Okay.
So I'd like
Save
to,
that till the end of the meeting and maybe we can all kind of review our
I
email.
mean, we get to, we don't know what happened last time.
In
We weren't
June,
here.
we weren't here.
Well, it doesn't matter. You say it happened or not, if you weren't here.
so we did have the minutes, correct?
Yeah.
And they were sent out, right?
Mhm.
Good. So, I'd like to make a motion that we approve those minutes that were sent out.
Second.
All those in favor?
I can say aye, but that's not a quorum.
Why, because we only have five?
That's what you guys, if you would like, you can wait till next meeting.
Yeah, save that for next meeting, because
I'll take
really we
one more.
can't, if them- you guys can't say you when you weren't here.
Yeah. Actually,
No, it isn't about them not being here, it's about the reading the minutes.
No, they stated they're vouching that those minutes represent what was discussed at the meeting, and they can't vouch for that. if
Because they weren't here, but the minutes were sent out.
Yes.
Yeah, I
To
can
all of
just-
us.
I can stack them on next meeting and I'll have them printed out, so. Okay,
So
sounds good.
they did have an opportunity to read the minutes. You can read the minutes, even
But you
if,
can't approve them.
excuse me, you can read the minutes even if you weren't here.
Correct.
And we're not saying
But
they
he
didn't.
can't approve the minutes as presented because he wasn't here.
You can't vote?
Next,
Kevin, you're getting too deep.
No, he can't vote because he wasn't here last meeting? Oh, that's a good question. You guys can't vote because you weren't here last meeting?
I will not vote on
Approving
approving the
minutes.
minutes, saying that they are correct as per last meeting. If I was not here to witness last meeting and
Okay.
know what was
Fair enough.
Thank you.
We'll have open forum on the action items. Anyone anyone out in the field have any,
Thank you. This
I have
is-
something I would like to present to y'all. So I don't know how to explain this, but my brother passed away in 2010. He and I grew up in Brook, and he was a very avid skateboarder. My mom and I helped bring up the skate park to the borough 14 years ago in the beginning in hopes that we could put something there in memory of my brother. So I was wondering if I could donate maybe a tree or a bench to like the park or the skate park itself in memory of my brother.
I think that's a really cool idea. Do you have something there that we can?
I don't, because I wasn't sure how to go, if I should do a bench or a tree or what. This is y'all's thing. But, I'm not sure what would be the best thing to fit in.
Do you want to wait and see what it looks like and then propose
And
something?
weapons might be there.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Should I come to the next meeting to see that, or?
I think if it's okay, Miranda, we can take your information.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, all
Because
this information.
I talked to you and your mother
Yes.
a couple weeks ago at one of the Friday night fun nights, and it was a great conversation. So, it's a good idea. So,
I love that idea. I will absolutely take your information. I'll talk to our manager too, just about the logistics of it.
Yeah.
Probably would be a bench, just because I don't know if we're putting any trees
Trees.
up around
Okay.
it right now, but I will absolutely. bring
And
it
I'll
forward.
get money together. Also, I'm not sure if we should, look at benches that you all might prefer or think about, like,
Yeah,
instead of me just picking a random bench.
Yeah, I could probably run with
Yeah.
some kind of specs to
Safety
where we
standard.
Yeah,
ADA or-
there are 2 benches currently going in at the skate park. So again, I will bring all that up to the manager. I'll see what type of benches we're putting in. And then at the end of the meeting, I will, unless you don't want to stick around, I will get all your information and I will reach out to you with some information about it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
I had also talked to her at the last family on Friday, so it's actually something I had written down as something I wanted to discuss further, because I think it's a really neat story, and it adds like a much more personal touch to the opening. Because your brother's birthday was October
4th.
4th, so it's so close to the time that the skate park's gonna be being completed. And I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think that a tree would be awesome, just with the fact that there's very minimal landscaping right now, and it would set it apart, like, especially if there's already
I'll
benches
talk to
going in.
more about all logistics of just a
Okay.
tree, the bench, whatever it is, I'll bring it all up to you. And I will figure out what works best. And
Yeah.
absolutely, I'll discuss both, that would see if we can do the tree or the bench, whatever you prefer. I'll absolutely see.
The bench would be awesome. He doesn't have a grave because he passed away, he was murdered by a tree in Texas. So we had him cremated, so it would be nice to have
Something
sit and
physical.
watch the kids skating, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
thanks for coming. Anyone else have any open business? Okay. Ray sent me his condolences that he wouldn't be here tonight, and there's no new information on the Icedale Trail. I talked to Cody, excuse me?
Go ahead. I was thinking Icedale Trail was being taken off the agenda. Okay.
No.
I'm just gonna.
Actually, we decided to put it back on.
Okay.
Yeah, I still
That's fine.
trail staying on, the Honeybrook track of the state forest is off, and so we have to like.
Okay,
It's all
thank you.
news, because I still try, even if there's no updates, it's good to know where we are in the process.
Got it.
Okay, so
Icedale Trail.
park discussion. Information kiosk, I talked to Cody Short, the scout leader, and he's in Colorado this month. He's been traveling a lot, and his message was that he will be here in September with an update.
Working on updates, like, do they have a proposal, what they like to do, where they like to do it?
Was it, you're not me, right? So, Ray and Cody, Ray's the Boy Scout, they gave a very basis overview proposal.
Okay.
They would put the sign, so when you drive into the park, there's that big sign there. And if you keep going back to where the disability parking spots are, it would kind of be right there on the curve of the walking of the sidewalk, if that makes any sense.
Like, where the dumpsters?
It's gonna go that wide, like we back up to park, or you can go around and park it. Yeah, it's gonna be that, that's what I'm hearing.
I got it.
Yeah, I think we're imagining the same thing.
I was wondering if maybe we could have a discussion about that, because actually the original spot was by the handicap sign, right at the corner there, that
Yeah.
little triangle,
That's
that
where
little
I was
grass triangle.
thinking.
That was the original spot. But I had talked to Warren, and someone else might have even suggested too, is that with the new location of the skate park, doesn't that kind of make the side where the trail starts more of an opening to the park? And what does everyone else think as far as that as a different location?
I kinda like that idea.
Was it you who said it?
I don't think so. I think of other crazy things, but.
I didn't think-
Yeah, don't
You're right, as you're about where the road closed sign. Sorry, I had to bring that up, but it is kind of an entry point to the parking, because there's so much up front. There's so much clutter up there, actually, where the snack bar is and all that sort of stuff.
two kiosks, one there and one on the other side up by the snack area. Because
Okay.
if you walk in and you don't make it all the way around, or if you go up to play pickleball and you end up at the, you know what I mean? Like, it would almost be nice to have two. Now, I'm not saying they have to do two, but in the future, we could have two.
I think,
Go ahead.
I mean, my opinion is the key place is the start of the trail. And then option two, like they,
I
and
mean,
the
right at the end of the
doors.
parking lot, starting the trail.
Yeah, and then the second one be up further by, like more towards that upper area.
So you think the first one?
I like where you said,
Yeah.
Better.
well, I like where you said, like, one of them somewhere around that area, and then I like one over by the skate park.
Yeah, so where do you think the first one?
I
Where do you
think
we
it's-
should talk to Cody about putting the one that they're making, the scouts are making?
I think at the skate park entrance, because to me, that's where the walking trail begins.
Will it be ready for him to finish his eco project in that vicinity with the construction going
I'm
on?
gonna do it on the left side.
That's what I was
Okay,
thinking.
okay.
Like, so when you start walking down the trail, you have it on the left side,
And that's
the
fair.
skate park will be on your left, or right.
Right.
So I just wanted to talk to everyone about it before we talk to Cody about it. And I'll call him and tell him about this conversation, but I will encourage him to be here at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Also, Miranda, I mean, and everyone, I think we need to put on the, on our action items, or, on our, park discussion, the library box. It was also online. Everyone knows that it is not functional. No one was, they weren't too hard on it. But I can't get around to fixing it. I'd like to. It just needs a front door. It just needs a piece of glass. And also, as we're talking about it, there's got to be a better location location than where it's at right now. I mean, it's back there by the snack bar. It's actually back on the other side of the snack bar.
I think better. I think a good place to put it would be by the kiosk. Like if you put the kiosk up right around that corner where you're either going up to the snack shack or no, not the skate park, the playground. You put it up there and that's closer, so people, I think a lot of people don't even know it's there.
You know,
Unless they walk the
and
trail.
it encourages vandalism by being back there too. Let's move it out in the front a little bit. And if it needs to be rebuilt, then we'll rebuild it. It's not that hard. Haven't gotten to it, and so I thought I'd bring it up and say, park and rec.
It's the same difficulty as a kiosk, so that could be another Eagle Scout project.
How many Eagle projects do we have? Eagle Scouts, we've been advertising about today, guys.
Two Scouts coming up, I thought.
There's another troop too,
Okay.
so, but Miranda, we'll keep that on,
I will add to the agenda for next
on the
month.
paper so we can talk about it till we get it fixed.
Absolutely.
I actually took a picture of it last time I was at Fun Fridays. I was just looking for it and can't find it, but that was something I wanted to bring up too, and I thought maybe it could be something to put in the budget for next year. If we especially want to relocate it.
Yeah.
Because Steve had explained like the issues with vandalism and whatnot, and it's kind of faded right now.
Yeah.
Behind the snack shack, putting it down at the kiosk might make more sense.
And people might use it, start using it. It is a thing.
The books are still in there.
They'll get destroyed from the weather.
Because it doesn't.
Yeah, and
But I think
we're
they were
gonna
talking
see
about the one in the Brook, like, the
recycle.
gets destroyed.
Yeah, but then he said, you know, Oval Park has a line, and then someone said, well, it's not in very good shape. They were not mean-spirited.
I think they were just asking if one was in.
They were.
Yeah.
So that kind of jogged my mind, so, all right. Next, number 2, item would be the Pollinator Garden. And Miranda's Summer's passed out some information.
Yes, so I did just pass around to you guys, but to explain it a little bit out loud, the pollinator garden that I have roughly laid out so far, I was just coming up with an idea of the layout, because I think it's something that we should propose for the 2025 budget. And until I know how we're gonna lay it out, it's hard to have an exact cost estimate. So this is what I was thinking originally, would be an area no bigger than like 12 by 12, because we can always add more,
Yes.
it's hard to take away. I was thinking to make a tree, kind of like you walk in, there's a couple pavers or gravel, whatever's gonna be the easiest to maintain. And then there's a dogwood tree right at the center, because it stays relatively small. They're easy to care for once they're established, and it's native, doing like a cornucopia, maybe with pink flower, maybe white. I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then surround it with some ornamental grasses, like something low-lying. Sprinkle some hostas throughout and some rudbeckia. And then as you're walking in, you have catnip, like lining the walk, because then it'll prevent people from walking in, hopefully. And then doing some echinacea, like lining both sides as you walk in. So, and like the little eyes are where I thought we could put signs explaining like what a pollinator is, why it's important, how we can support them, etc. And if we ever wanted to add benches, that could happen on the outside of it. So that's where what I have so far, and if anybody has any input, like if you think that I should do something differently, I'd definitely draw some more sketches. So Cornus Florida is, that's an ornamental dogwood that's native.
Okay.
That's native to.
That's what I thought it was.
Would you want to put like the path, like make it like a circle and then go through and like in each area put stuff,
Or is the whole?
or you want to keep it people out of it?
I was thinking that, but with the concern of bees and children and not making it too big, I kind of was erring on the side of just doing a pathway, like a small thing that you could just walk in, see everything, and then walk right back out. But I also think that this leaves room for us to grow, that we could even put a pathway around it and expand further if we wanted to. But if you guys feel strongly about putting a pathway in, I could somehow figure that out.
No, I was just
I
curious.
don't think in 12 by 12, that's what you're saying. Yeah, I like the idea of just seeing that. people
rather than encouraging people to go in,
to
but.
go in through the trail that really isn't a real good trail yet until the plants get grown. So you're bouncing off.
Well, I was saying you could use brick, that you put down the main to the trail.
Yeah.
So then you know the path is designated, you have to stay on the brick stuff, but, no, I mean, that makes,
I mean, I think for now, I like the idea of it just being right here and having the path then go around it so that you're seeing the whole thing.
would you wanna add in benches for the outside of it?
I think if you guys want, like, feel strong, not, I don't wanna say feel strongly, because like, it might just be something where, yeah, we wanna do that. If you guys want to, let me add that to the process.
Yeah.
I was just worried with the expense. Like, right now, it's sitting right around $2,100, but my goal is to get a lot of this stuff donated. And my family is tree farm, like, we'll definitely supply the tree, which takes care of a good bit of it, but getting maybe some local places to donate some plants and gravel or whatever we
I'm
need.
sure we find a ton of people and get rid of hostage.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not putting houses in our, those to four houses.
Do you guys think that, like, 2 benches?
Yeah, because if you put like one on one side, one on the other, or, but if you start off with the benches, you can always take them out. But if you don't have the benches, then you're not gonna get money for them later.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd say
You always add on, I mean, to have an evolution of this, you can't, hey, we want to do this for the pollinator garden this year, let's budget this much for benches, or let's expand a concrete path or a brick path.
So is it gonna be a place to sit and something that draws pollinators?
I think from the out, if people are like on the outside of it, yes, it might cause some disturbance if people are walking through it, which I guess is probably another reason. But like even at my house, if I'm walking through the brick paths, like there's still bees on either side and birds and whatnot.
And I think too, so this might be an idea, could we take one of those information kiosk things and put it at the front
Yes, yeah.
to say, like,
Honeybook
warning,
yeah.
there's bees.
Yeah.
Just so,
Yeah.
I mean,
I was definitely thinking something to mark the entrance, even like Honeybrook Township, Pollinator Garden, sponsored by Parks and Rec, or whatever. But then something that notes that this is an active pollinator zone.
Yeah, I've seen little like brass things that say, you know,
Yeah,
there's bees here.
yeah, I think that would be,
yeah. And I've also thought about, and I didn't include on this sketch, those brass plates that you were talking about, doing that for each variety of plant. So if people, like, I don't know, it's something to do, like, oh, I didn't know coneflower came in that color, or,
Yeah.
or
Well,
whatever.
that's pretty, I have more permanent at my house, what is it?
Yeah,
because I'm,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, perhaps we can look at locations if we meet there in September.
Yeah, I would definitely like to do that. But for right now, I figured saying it's 12 by 12 at least like gives me something to work with.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any pollinator garden? Summer?
And, no, I don't think so. I think that was all that our call was so far.
Thank you.
It looks good.
Miranda?
I'm looking at that.
Skate
Sounds
park.
good. Skate park. So if you've driven past it, you know that they've broken ground. They're making really good progress. They're getting all the stormwater figured out, and by figured out, I mean put in place to get everything ready to go. And they should begin their concrete pours within the next few weeks. As the weather kind of hopefully levels off a little bit. To give the dry time a little bit faster. So they are going to be doing it in sections. So if you drive past and you're like, what in the world? Because there's one concrete pillar going on. They're pouring in sections in hopes that A, cools faster and reduces the rest of vandalism. So they should start concrete pours pretty soon.
What's the projected opening?
There's not a specific date. It's set for early mid-October currently.
Okay.
Is their timeline, I should say. They are relatively confident that they will be done by beginning of October.
Okay.
I can tell you that several times I've seen people there. I've been going to the park and watching the progress. And there's been young people there taking pictures, and there's quite a buzz about that skate park.
Good.
Even on Friday, so a lot of people are like, oh, that's pretty good. Hopefully it'll be well received.
It has been, well, I had one quote, look at all that could have been parking, where are people gonna park now? And it's like, I'm a firm believer that opening day is one day a year. That to invest and worry about parking for opening days should not be our priority.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sidewalks now going to our park, they can park up across the elementary school and walk. You know, there's options, but I just don't want us to get focused on, we've got to provide parking for opening day.
And a couple of local businesses in the area, we've worked with them before for parking situations, so if it comes down to a parking issue, I'm sure we can get in contact with them and work something out.
Are we planning an opening day for the skate park?
And it will be,
Because that's probably something to start sooner rather than later,
oh
right?
yeah, that's why I'm hoping we can have a
Yeah.
workshop meeting.
We were thinking at one point that it might have been ready for Harmony Day, but it doesn't seem
Doesn't sound
like
like it,
it,
yeah.
so we would have to do something later. We could do something like a ribbon cutting type thing.
So you need to start thinking, I'm just gonna go down there.
Hopefully, Warren, why don't you ask Warren about that?
Yeah, I mean, I do know that he's all for an opening day thing.
It's just timing and you
No,
don't
I
want
mean,
to
it's
be
even-
ready.
And I wish we had a specific date, but you don't, I'm sure I'll be able to give you guys a much more specific estimate by the September meeting for the actual opening day. I don't know if it's gonna be able to be by big thing, I mean like production wise, but he could just,
Go fun Friday.
yeah, almost like a fun Friday, and like information and even just like a little safety lesson maybe. We can get some very easy printouts, stuff like that, set up a little station, just kind of talk with everybody about it, what the skate park is. If the memorial bench is in at that time, if we manage to get it worked into the opening day, things like that. If she wanted to, I know she's not in here right now, if she wanted to, she'd share a bit of the story, the whole story, whatever it is, but I'm sure we could absolutely work something out.
Did we ever figure out the whole donation type thing?
We do have a clause in place, which.
Let's take that up under new business at the end, and just keep going down this order, because I still want to stay on point with
Yes,
this.
yeah, we can add that to the business.
I want to stay on point with this, with the skate park conversation. And what I had asked you was that, we need to talk to Ward about, is he going to take care of the opening day, or does he want us to take care of the opening day? That's kind of where I was at.
Gotcha, okay, got it.
All
Got
right?
it, got it.
And maybe we could safely pick a later date in October, and that way we can start planning and getting the word out without that fear, oh, we're planning the 10th, but it's not gonna be ready, you know?
If the township wants us to do it, well, then we'll go ahead and start, planning something.
And, I mean, if you look at, like, the timeline of it, and the fact that Fun Fridays aren't gonna be happening anymore, we could even just do something very informal, like a Fun Friday.
Right.
Maybe around Halloween, like, come celebrate Halloween with the Parks and Rec and see the new skate park, or something like that, it doesn't even have to be.
Without a ribbon cutting is what, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know,
A Friday would, the last Friday in October is the 25th,
okay.
then you go into November.
I was wondering if, maybe we could, if it is up to us, we could do some research and find some skating groups or something. Who might want to come and help us open this thing.
Yeah, and Warren was really into that idea. I think we weeks worth of research on it. It's just the biggest issue is the skate companies in the area keep closing down.
Yeah.
It's not very happy. But I'm pretty sure if we look up for Reading area, because I believe Reading has a really big skate park. If I remember it correctly, I might have the area be wrong.
Yeah.
But I think there's a couple up towards the Reading area.
Mhm.
There was one in Westchester. That was
Big
awesome. They
Westchester
taught
area has
lessons and
some.
everything, but they were no longer around. And Warren didn't want them to come out, so
Who?
we'll take a look around. A company out of Westchester that closed down. So once this next couple of hectic days are over, I can absolutely take a look into that too.
Does the one in downtown, the bike shop, do skate?
They do. I mean, they sell equipment. I don't know how affiliated they are with the downtown skate rink.
Yeah.
You're doing, during opening day too, sometimes you have the construction people, just because they did it, but that specific group, they're into skateboarding. So you may want to reach out and ask them, not only did he build it and help design it type thing,
He might.
but him and a lot of guys, my understanding is him himself and a lot of guys that work for him are really into skateboarding. So you may actually like that invitation to show his work off, be part of that opening thing, and be there with the kids and
That's good.
suggestion.
I think Warren's probably got a contact with that guy.
Yeah, absolutely, and I can get you some contact information for Arment. Arment specializes in skate parks. Like, Saldo's been on there, huge skateboarding guys. When we had the pre-construction meeting, the way they were talking, trying to perfect everything, make it family friendly and also fun for kind of more competitive skateboarders at the same time, it got me really excited because they were so into it, so.
So even if they give.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even if you went on their
presentation
website,
like that.
Their website, they have pictures everywhere of all of their
Yeah.
projects.
I might bring you-
And who is that group?
That's Arment Concrete.
Arment?
Yep, ARMENT.
Concrete.
All right, so once we find
There's, I
out,
just Googled, there's two shops definitely are skate shops. One is in Park City, I'm betting it's skate clothing. But I'm willing to call them if we could get a hard date, just see if they want to.
Yeah.
Lancaster's not that far from Huntington, so.
Not to change the subject, but a question that I had, did we ever find out, like, exactly if there's any landscaping being put in?
what was the question?
If we ever found out if there's any landscaping being put in around the skate park?
Well,
Other than rough grading is all I'm aware of.
That's on there. Yeah, built into the actual construction plans, I don't think there's any landscaping currently going in. The landscaping at the front of the park, that little section is staying. But I believe it's currently not in there.
I was just thinking, like, that might be something that we look for even in the upcoming year's budget. Because I think that it might ease a little bit of the site, like, rather than it just look like a concrete pad there in a place where we live and there's trees everywhere, it might be nice if we encourage or recommend to the supervisors that we at least look into installing some landscaping around it.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, other than whether it's a safety thing or something, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be flying off the walls, but,
No.
okay. It would help, I mean,
Yeah,
any
it would
green.
just like make it look a little bit nicer probably.
Yeah.
And then the park, I don't know, that was just something that,
I know we talked about it before, so.
yeah, I don't know if we ever got an answer on that, but something to think about.
I think you did get an answer, you got an answer that there was nothing, that they didn't put anything in the budget for, landscaping.
Might something to think about even getting out of the grant for moving forward in the future, since it wasn't included initially.
Right, and, okay, we'll just keep going down, because you just brought up another question. Family Fun Fridays, you guys want, that's gonna be, you guys want to go ahead and, plot out these last three, or the next two after this one, or?
Well, third is the movie night.
Right. I did get, the okay for a, moon bouncer or some type, similar type, play.
For the last Friday.
That's what I was gonna ask, when do you guys think? we
I would
should
say the
go?
last Friday.
The last Friday.
We need time to kill between.
Yeah.
It is getting dark earlier, so it will be a little earlier than last time.
Set it up for outfield of the first baseball field.
Mhm.
And they did start that movie a lot earlier than I don't know if we thought, they started that movie a lot earlier than 9 o'clock. It was 8:15, 8:20. It wasn't dark and we could watch the movie, and then it got dark kind of in the beginning. So it's not that bad. It wasn't that much time. So,
So we have this one tomorrow, we planned it up.
this week, you know,
And then what, the last one, and the 23rd, what do we want to do? As far as, so you'll have the moon bounce thing, we'll have our normal games and basketball stuff. Do we still want to keep doing crafts? Do we want to, are you planning on being there tomorrow? Do you want me to bring the hot dog roll?
I will be there tomorrow.
Do you want me to bring a hot dog?
What do you think?
You're the,
You want,
Were you going to be there too, though? You weren't sure. And I only asked because we now got tie-dye, we might have hot dogs. And do you see what I'm saying? I think we need
I
to.
think it's worth a shot.
Well, I mean,
Why not, right?
I mean,
Let's do it.
because I don't think the baseball is, they're ever gonna show up.
It's
We're
okay.
being consistent, so people have asked multiple times, like, oh, it'd be nice if you had 30 here.
So what else do we want to do?
I
besides
think it would be a
that?
good gauge for next year before we
Yeah.
start planning our budget.
Yes.
Okay, I'll grab that time.
Do we need anything else?
So that's a 60.
Maybe need hot dogs. Rolls.
Rolls. Anything else? No? What do you think about that? Text me.
I think the only thing was,
Tomorrow, I'll hunt some of the stuff around if we need.
maybe just hot dog rolls, I guess some kind of condiments,
A box of those,
chips.
a box of those sample, those little mini bags that we had at
Yeah.
the time. Just to have something besides.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I love shopping, so.
I'll give you my list.
Years. All right, so,
And we're working the 23rd, we've got the 16th, we've got the 30th started, and if we could try to do hot. Did you say the church had hot dogs on movie night?
they had popcorn all three.
So we,
and
maybe
then
we could
bags,
try to do
pre-popped.
the next week. Well, you definitely won't be here, so we'll plan a less crazy crowd for the 23rd, and I don't mind doing hot dogs.
Yeah.
Either someone's got to kind of man the time.
I'll do that.
No, the title's fine,
Yeah.
we'll take care of that.
And then we'll figure out next year,
So next
later on.
week,
You will not be there.
we will not be there. I can cut up more of the wooden things,
And we have plenty of paint, let's do it.
we can do paint, we have more of those little scratch off things, do any more tiles.
So are you there?
There are a couple. The problem with the towels, they pour it on like they're.
But I'm trying to get it.
You see me put that out there, didn't you? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm working on it.
So we're on crafts on this, on the 23rd. And moon mounts and fun things on,
It's up to you guys. I know we talked about like water coolers and stuff, but I don't know how we would get water there.
We have to have a bucket full.
I haven't seen like a hose bid in there.
not yet. I think it's something maybe we should, we should ask for their capabilities. I don't want to put a lock on it, but that's not impossible. Yeah, so,
Yeah,
But I think it's something we should-
You almost
Yeah.
get the
Yeah, I
concession,
think you're right.
it's not.
you know, it's supposed to concession stand down. if you use-
What's all packs too? I mean, if you tie it with packs, you're talking about something that's,
Yeah,
you know, maybe $30.
yeah. So we're gonna have to put that on, maybe on a requisition budget for next year. All right, so we've taken care of the family fun prize. I do want to discuss the whole concept, but we'll just wait till the thing's over and then look backwards and think about next year.
Do we have an idea, and I should have asked this before, have we been keeping track of attendance?
Not faithfully, no.
Yeah, because I think that would be something nice as we ask for the supervisors for money and whatnot, but this is how many,
That's how you have
To
to
give them an
evolve to
idea,
it,
but-
so.
and also it would help us like set goals for next year.
Right.
I can tell you that the two most attended ones were the movie night and the cornhole tournament. Okay, by twice.
The movie night, I made 45, 44
Yeah.
of the circles, and there's a couple people that made two, but I think we went through like 30 some of them. And that's just the people that painted them. So we had quite a few people for the movie night. Cornhole, you had what, 4 or 5 boards set up?
There were 16 people just in the tournament,
And
and
then,
not everybody played.
Yeah, I thought it ended up being like low 20s
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
in attendance.
so I think that's kind of the average. I mean, the first couple nights, were a little light, but people, as people found out about it, there are some people that come in like every week.
Friday.
Every week, it's like the same couple people. So I think as people find out about it, more people are kind of coming, or, I mean, the one group when we did the tie-dyes the first time, they showed up with t-shirts, like they got the word.
Yeah, and they purposely
And
came.
it just stumbled on it, yeah.
Now, there were some people that just stumbled upon.
Yes, I remember the one couple that were visiting from Philly,
Yep.
and they were staying with the family, and they had 4 kids, and the family's like, hey, they've got something going on down at the park. So they showed up, that was kind of cool.
So I mean, we can definitely take attendance tomorrow,
Yeah.
and,
I brought the tents.
yeah,
We just kind of need to look at what our vision is for this. I think that casual Friday nights are good, but maybe we could focus on those final Fridays next year as being something more, you know, the bounce houses, ice cream, whatever. Pick those 2 Fridays to grow it even bigger.
Yeah.
Like maybe even have, I think the problem we're having is that it starts at 6 o'clock, that's like when a lot of people have dinner, and since we don't provide food,
I'd like to see it.
they might not show up until 7:30, or, you know, if you are home and you eat dinner and you're clean up after dinner, it's like, nah, I don't really want to go to the park anymore. But if they come to the park and get dinner there, they're already there. So,
I was thinking, as far as advertisements, you know, one way we can improve this thing is that know what we're doing before we start.
Oh, yeah.
So that we
Look at
have-
the calendar.
So that we have 8 dates. So Miranda's gonna start with 8 dates, with 8 topics, with 8 of everything that's gonna happen. So you know ahead of time, all right, I'm not gonna go this week, but next week I'm gonna go. I love cornhole, there's the cornhole tomorrow. 3 weeks, I'm gonna go because there's movie night. But they'll see it. And the first Friday, they're gonna see all 8 Fridays or 6, or however many we do. And then that way, maybe we can go down to the next level. That is a dream, but it's probably impossible. But then you click on that one, and it tells you
Sign up.
what we're doing. Well, sign up, yeah. Sign up, or it tells you, you know, gives you particulars of what's going on that week. Or, what Sherry said, sign up, but it's just, I don't know if it's possible, but.
I mean, that's easy, that's a Google,
I think it would be really nice to, at least before we get to next year, have your 8 weeks big event ironed out.
Yeah.
No,
We're going into the budget, so we want to have this
Yeah.
kind of, at least the vision, at least kind of the plans.
Yeah,
We should be more organized. This time we kicked it off in June.
yeah.
Said, hey, let's do this, you know? So
All right.
by evolving, you also get more, like,
I would
Take
say,
And,
take the average of whatever it is you guys, take whatever you think the average would be for each Friday night if you were to buy these supplies. And then if you want to do things like add food and stuff like that, I'd say have an additional 25% of that on for the casual Friday nights. And then, like I said, this, I would go crazy, but this budget, it's open right now for you guys to submit whatever you want. So I would say go with a rough estimate of what these activities would be, like tie-dye, say it costs $15 for 8 tie-dye colors. And you know, you want to have 2 tie-dye nights, stick at 30, bump it up to 40, just in case if there's extra expenses with the tie-dye itself. And then kind of do that for each item, average it out, and then the big ones, obviously, go for what you guys want. Okay? I'd say that's probably a really good start for that section of budget.
and that would be an in and out budget.
well, yeah, I mean, we will, I mean, it's definitely something, you know, the cornhole night was really good. So if we say one's gonna be cornhole, one's gonna be this, if we wanna have prizes, we can build that in.
Yes.
Like, if we wanna do food, we can build that in. We can work with, the township to allow us to use the snack area, so that we don't have to just kind of have it outside. So,
we already have permission to use it. cannot use their equipment, which is not a,
No, it's not a big
it's
deal.
not a
You guys
big
are allowed
deal.
in the snack bar, it's just all the equipment inside the snack bar was purchased by the Food Baseball Association, so fridges, all that kind of stuff, freezers, any of their machines that they
Do
have
they
in
run
there.
that stuff year round?
They leave it in there year round. I don't know if they use it year round,
Do they
but
pay-
If you're able to monitor the electric usage in there, because those freezers with 6 bottles of soda.
yeah.
Do they pay for the power for it? They do?
Yep. The power, during their season, during the time that they use it, and then the additional power usage, if they put that on, they pay for that section.
Sure. But we can even, I mean,
There's room in there for us.
yeah, we can put our own freezer in there. I mean,
There's room in there for us.
As far as this Friday, I would have the hot dogs one night.
Yeah. Well, we have ice cream for the scavenger hunt as like the prize.
Like a gift card?
No,
No,
like.
Right, we're
actual
gonna
ice cream.
skip it.
I like it.
So like,
So like when the
here's-
kids come back,
So it's tough for a scavenger hunt to figure out who is the winner.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
people coming
Yes.
6
constantly.
o'clock, and some people
Yeah.
might show up at 8.
So-
Start time.
How do you determine who the winner is? So our thought was a prize for everybody. So we grabbed, like, I'm gonna call them like ice cream truck, like snacks,
Oh, okay.
like the chip witches, the,
Uh-huh.
oh, I forget what else I call it, the
Nice.
Oreos.
The Snickers,
The Snickers,
the strawberry shortcake thing.
yeah, like
Yeah,
those
okay.
types of, so that there was a variety and it was, like, everybody could get one, was kind of my thought.
Yeah, because you're encouraged, and like you said, you don't have a start time,
Yeah.
so you can't see.
So, like tomorrow, we'll get there, we'll go around, we bought stamps to put in the different places for the things. We printed out 30 sheets, I don't, assume we're not gonna have more than 30 people, like groups. And then they just have to go around and stick the things
Okay.
for each
Nice.
one, and it kind of leads you around the entire park. So
Mhm.
that even if you didn't know, like where stuff was, it's like, oh, I didn't realize this was back here, or I didn't realize that. So it forces them to go around the whole park. And then when the kids come back, they can get ice cream.
I like that one better than that. That might be one that's a repeat.
And that's,
Then you
and
said
it's
it's
crazy.
easy.
I
Yeah.
mean, we just went to the park, walked around that sign 4 times. And then, like, just like, oh, let's just write this down, write this down, write this down.
I walked around that side.
Yeah, the road.
That is going away, good news. Is they're putting
Joe will
in
be so happy.
actual,
Joe doesn't
no
believe.
fence posts with enough space to get around in a stroller, so those will be going away once the fence park being built, yes.
We may even have to name that. Yeah. Joe's Gate.
Because people drive around, like, and it's probably township workers that drive around and turf the grass. I mean, I don't know how many dually trucks drive around.
Yeah, it was closed off because there was a couple of years back, there was a major vandalism issue in the back. Really major, things were getting destroyed and really unsafe. Because people were driving back there, they were also driving back there to do other activities with that. So they shut it off.
What if
It really did solve the problem, or at least cut down from what I remember Warren saying, because it was for a while.
Because you could drive around that. It's not
Yeah.
hard. Well, what if when the skate park goes in, we run the fence from the corner of the baseball field to the pavement, have the 2 ballards or whatever in it, and then run a fence to the skate park. And then the only way through is through the ballards, so you can't drive back there unless you have a key to open it up.
Something to talk about.
We're only talking about maybe 30 feet of fence if that.
Something to talk about. I just have to keep an eye on that. We're going to the park hopefully in September. This is another thing we can look at, right?
Actually, it would be a good thing if we could get, you know, a walk around the park day, so we can kind of put together if there's any maintenance that needs to be done.
Isn't that what we're going to do for September's meeting?
I thought last time we did that, we were not.
I think that we can go there on fact finding.
I think they said the fact finding, just not any discussion of.
Yeah, just just like a fact
It
finding.
can't be a business meeting.
Yeah, it can't be a business meeting, can't be any
Can't make
Motion.
decisions.
doors,
Decisions
things, no
or-
decisions,
No
nothing
vote.
like that.
Persuading other people to do
Fact
something.
finding, just like pointing, gathering information, that's,
Gathering
Yeah,
information.
that was-
gathering information is allowed, it's
Yeah.
just decision can't be made, stuff like that.
I think we should do it. Are you okay with that? 'Cause I wanna look at that pollinator spot too.
Yeah, no, I would,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think it makes sense.
How are you guys supposed to, how are you supposed to plan anything if you don't know where it
We'll
goes?
do it sometime in September, okay? Early September, if that's okay.
That's fine.
We had to find
Just a walk around, like what you guys did.
the walk around separate than that possible meeting before our budget meeting.
Then, all right, it's gonna be separate, then the budget meeting.
Then once we go through that, then we'll have items that we can budget for.
It's
That'll
a,
be ready.
Yeah.
And just really quickly, and in the Sunshine Law, there are special meetings are allowed, which are meetings that aren't scheduled the year before for your 12 calendar meetings. They have to be advertised at least 24 hours in advance. So it would really be 48, because you have to give it time to hit the papers and then the actual advertisement. But I'll talk to Lauren and I'll send an email to you guys, just to keep it all official and stuff. And we'll try and see if we can set a day for a special meeting.
should we do like a vote or something?
Remember, that's just gonna be that's not really, that's just a information gathering.
No,
No,
it's
no, no, I'm
special
talking about the
meeting,
budget.
we
Like
can
the
talk
workshop
about
after.
budget meeting.
Just because we were talking about meetings and
Right.
it's in here, so.
So what do you think we should do, Sherry?
I think we should have the budget meeting advertised, she's saying we only need to have, and also meet the walk around.
Yeah, I think
Like a
that's
separate
fine.
meeting.
Yeah, we're doing that finding like on a Tuesday and then have the meeting on a Thursday.
You said what we should.
Like get there at like 6 o'clock, walk around for an hour, and then
Okay.
like Thursday, have the,
No, I was thinking when she figured
that
that
we
out.
just come in and to kind of do a workshop, we're like,
To
okay,
pick
these
a
are the
date
items we
for
thought, this is what
for
we're
the walkabout.
thinking it's gonna cost, put the budget together and then propose the budget.
Like that.
Or-
What
Do we have to
you do.
propose it, Brenda, or do we just give it to you by the 30th? And then we might have to talk to it at a meeting, but not, like.
So these are the official proposal forms. It would probably be best if someone came to a meeting to kind of talk through them to the board, just in case they have any questions about anything in particular.
At the October meeting or at the September meeting?
October.
We can get,
October.
we can get to that.
Okay, so, yeah, we should have some,
Yeah. September meeting is for them to kind of figure out where we're at this year and where we need to be at next year. October is when official reviews start. November is when the budget goes out for public comment essentially. And December is when it's decided upon.
All right, and we wanna add a workshop. So does anybody have an idea of when?
the workshop being just the fact finding, the walkabout.
No.
No, walkabout is
Workshop
just the
is
fact finding, the workshop is the in-depth
Budget
budget
Yes.
discussion for you guys to figure out what you want to go
When's this
with.
next meeting? The 9th? You wanna do it the week before, or you wanna do it like the 3rd and the 5th?
I can't, of September,
Yeah.
I think the 5th is back to school, so I know that I can't, it's either the 5th or the 6th.
Okay.
I think that's right after Labor Day, so we might wanna wait until,
The 10th and the 12th?
yeah, like that. That sounds right.
So do we wanna do the walk around the 10th from,
Why don't we do the walk around the same night as the workshop meeting?
because I don't know if we're gonna be able to, because we go down there and it depends on how long it takes us down there. And then if we come up here and we only have,
We're not
You know,
going
30,
to, we're gonna have that special meeting at the park.
are we gonna do both at the same place?
We don't, yeah.
Oh, I thought we could do it here, because then, like, more other people.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Yeah, because fact finding is strictly just fact finding.
Right.
And then
I was only.
the budget meeting is, essentially, that's what you call it, probably should be here,
Okay,
just to,
And then we have internet.
everybody can have their papers, their
Yeah.
computers, and can kind of.
we have 3 Friday nights going, we could, everybody could kind of, as whoever's there tomorrow night, we can kind of walk around and take notes, bring it to that budget meeting that we're scheduling.
I don't know, I liked when we walked through.
It is kind of nice, because you see a lot more eyes.
Yeah, and Fridays are
Friday
more
nights,
good
so
everybody.
everybody can come.
I mean, we can't be there next week.
I
Mhm.
like your idea of doing it the 10th and the 12th, because then you also have 48 hours to think between the meetings. It's
Yeah,
not
I
too
think
much
all you're
time.
doing, the walking around, is just writing stuff down.
Yeah,
And then when we get here, we can say,
Under
okay,
12.
how much do we want to budget for this? And then it's gonna be X amount, and I can bring our laptops, we can Google stuff, figure out rough estimates, stuff like that.
All right, Joe, we got,
Are there any other meetings here on the 12th, Miranda?
There should be.
Okay,
There should be.
usually Wednesday nights.
Yeah, Board of Supervisors is the first and second Wednesday of the month. And hearing is typically the third Monday or fourth Monday. And then, planning commission is Tuesday typically, so we should be good to go.
can we call it a budget workshop,
I'll ask Maureen.
for lack of a better term?
I'm not 100% sure, but it might have to be called a special meeting just because of the short notice.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So
Call it whatever it needs to be called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
it can, in the description of it, I will mention, and in the agenda, it will be mentioned that budget discussions will be in place, so people will be aware.
all right.
And it might be nice if other people come too, and I point out stuff that we didn't think about.
Yeah, that we might have missed.
Yeah.
And the real reason.
I just think that that meeting could go on its own without trying to do all our other agenda
I-
items.
Yeah.
So I think it should be one and we can truly sit and not be rushing through. So I'm good with the 10th and 12th.
Because once we figure out the things that we want, we have to prioritize them, because if we go to the township meeting and they say, well, you're not getting all of that, which ones do you really want?
Yeah, definitely rank them on
Yeah.
the
So
level
once
of
we
importance
get
that.
the numbers, we have to prioritize.
Yep,
And then, like, what can we
And then-
shift to?
yep, they might not let you pick and choose depending on what's available in the overall budget, because we're gonna have to move some things around. That's what we do every year anyway.
How is the basketball and pickleball tennis courts doing? How's that fit into our
We-
budget? Or is that something?
That is something that's already
that-
being worked on, so you guys can ignore that.
Okay.
Because that is something that once we hear back about the grant, Warren will maybe work on that with the board of supervisors,
Separately
because that's
from our
the
regular-
overall capital project for the township.
Okay.
And could you remind us again when that deadline is for that? That was October for.
September 30th by 3 p.m.
For hard copies of their.
So I need these.
No,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry. For, when we want to hear about the grant for the asphalt.
That's middle of fall, that's really what they gave us, they really not.
In the
Over
fall,
November.
right?
Yeah, in the fall.
October,
That's
November.
what the,
Okay, fair enough.
that's what was.
Jump that back baseball field, put the basketball and pickleball courts down there and make that top thing, that right now is the basketball, pickleball courts, a parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Look at your master
recommend,
plan for Humboldt Park, and that is very similar to
I know.
the quote vision. Is it realistic that we can go through each step in the next 5 to 10 years? Those are some pretty major costs.
It might actually be easier to, because it's already level. So
I
it
mean,
might
if
be
you could do a
easier.
dirt or gravel one, it'd be perfect.
Well, no, I was just saying, I wouldn't even change the like, all you have to do is seal the permit thing and then just mark lines in it. And then you would, when you, instead of repaving, you would just pave that baseball field.
I think if you look at the, Warren has encouraged me to encourage everyone on this board to familiarize yourself with the comp plans for Humboldt Park. So there's two or three versions of the field, of the layout, which is kind of cool. So, and if you think about it, the skate park was part of that vision. I think it was phase 1.
Let's get for it.
I think there was there was some, in one of the plans, it was talking moving the courts, but I think that's not really, they were talking about moving them where the skate park is now,
Or next to the skate park,
Yeah.
putting additional courts down there,
Mhm.
or a new court down there. And that's, by adopting that quote vision, we kind of want to plan that. I think that's why I had made a motion that we didn't take the basketball court down to the bottom level, that we just gave, did what we needed to do by 3 to 5 years, because it doesn't truly fit in our master plan. Do you see what I'm saying? So you kind of look at that towards, so you're making decisions based on that vision, not just.
Just,
But
we
yeah.
were up there
It would be nice.
playing basketball and like, you know, this could be a parking lot, this could be a guard, plus extra parking. You could move the basketball court and the pickleball and the stuff to a different spot in the park.
Yeah, we talked about just the basketball court.
Yeah.
Keep seeing young folks who
Well, we're all playing pickleball at the Borough now, because the Borough has a brand new pickleball court, so.
Yes, they do.
And,
Sorry.
we are really the only ones using, we're the only ones. They have equipment here for the community, but we're, to my knowledge, we're the only ones that borrow it and set it up currently, so. I mean, I had people come up last Friday specifically to play pickleball, to learn how to play pickleball. It was fun, so. All right, what do you guys think? Oh, you want to go down to number 2? Harmony Day? Anyone have anything to report on Harmony Day? There's not going to be much on Harmony Day from, that I know of from Park and Rec.
Yeah.
We've done things. Harmony Day, we tended to, you either go to Harmony Day or you get out of town. You don't just hang in Honeybrook for the day. If you're in town shopping, we prefer to try the movie night on Harmony Day, thinking, oh, that'll give everybody an evening away from the crazy. Last year, there was pickleball tournaments and stuff, which supposedly went off well. We have no one to organize that, the fact that no one's playing here anymore. Maybe next year that could be something that doesn't. It's hard to compete, quote, with Harmony Day. Sally, you've lived here how long?
26 years, 25 years.
How often do you participate in Harmony Day?
5 times.
5? Do you walk about and stuff? We actually had a table one year, 2 parts of it, when we were doing the skate park, or not the skate park, the Humble Park plan. So it was kind of a presentation to the community, and they were able to visualize it and see it and stuff. So you can have a table more downtown, or downtown, Brook.
Do we want?
It was right near the fire park, or fire station pavilion, and it was kind of a nice informational thing to do, just to meet and greet.
Do we want to,
That's September 21st.
do we want to do a table?
I can't commit to anything in
Sorry.
September. Yeah.
I know,
What do you guys
we're not
think?
available, Linda.
Do we want to do a table for, any ideas about doing a table?
I would
What's
say.
that?
I'm also not available.
The table could be nice if we had a survey that we could do, you know, take while we're there. That would be a good thing to have at the table. Or to introduce the Pollinator Garden and maybe get donations for firewood, you know, kind of thing. That could be the benefit of a table at this point, but again, you need someone to man it. I just think about it.
No, we're going to be in State College. We'll be in State College.
What was your summer last week?
I'll be over there every week.
It was a very good summer. We stayed in Black Bush and State Park. You ever been there?
Sherry, from what you were talking about, I feel like that could also be done at the skate park opening. Just with everything that's on your guys' plate already, I don't know if tacking on an additional thing like Harmony Day.
Yeah, I
is
don't,
the best thing to handle, especially with the vast majority of you guys not being available.
yes, I
But something like that, I think, would be like the skate park opening day, bring more attention to what the park and rec board is doing.
yes.
We could, like, put stuff together to show the Pollinator Garden, possibly the disc golf stuff, and say, like, see people's interest in stuff like that.
We could also do that on the skateboard opening night.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and let's focus our attention on that. I'd like to really kind of have a qualifying date if I'm gonna need to call vendors.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to plan something if you don't have an idea on it.
Gee, we'd like to do this, we have no clue.
Yeah.
I will get in contact with them and see if I can even get a rough estimate at least.
Or kind of a, hey, we will definitely be out there on such and such a date.
Okay.
That's what I want. And
Gotcha.
then we know that following week it or whatever.
Got it.
It might not be bad to shift towards the end of October, and just hedge on the fact that they'll be done.
Well, she's gonna definitely, if they can give you a drop dead date, okay, we will definitely be out by the 21st. We can shoot for the 25th. Not, oh, if the weather's good, we might be out on the 13th, you know. We'll do that.
And we want to do a Saturday,
I thought we took Friday night.
Friday? Just, it's gonna get dark.
Yeah, October sunset.
Almost think a Saturday might be better. Just because, I don't know, we'll have more time to get things set up. People can come early and excited when it's bigger, like,
Yeah, then you got all your family sports going on. League soccer. Just, I'm not trying to throw just the negatives out, but it
Oh,
is.
Friday night in October is also.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
You know, a lot of kids go to the high school football games, so we'll be competing against that.
Just tour around and just see what sticks.
Yeah.
It's
I
also,
wonder if we talk to a couple vendors, if they say, hey, we can't be there on a Friday night, we could do Saturday, that would be a helpful idea.
Yeah.
Deciding where we want to go with it.
Well, we're waiting for the date, right?
yeah,
Before we do anything. We're not gonna do a grand opening when it's not open, right?
Mhm.
Alright. So, nothing for Harmony Day this year. Walking storybook trail.
I need to reach out, to, what library? I wanna say I was through Chester County Library, like the
Yes.
head.
And yeah, that's the next.
I think that's who I had talked to. There was a grant to do it, however, looking into the grant, like it doesn't exist. It's a weird, so I need to, yeah, it got very, like, bizarre. So I need to talk to them directly, and figure out how to go about it. So that's on my list of things to do, to talk to them and figure out all of the logistics.
And what kind of costs would be involved in there.
Thank you.
Yep.
Kelly, I appreciate it.
No problem.
Pleasantly surprised that there's something on it. Okay, other business. There is one other business budget proposals. I think we beat that one pretty good, right?
I wanted to
I
go over
wanted to
the
circle
paper.
back to what you brought up about.
We gotta beat this a little bit more.
Excuse me?
We have to beat it a little bit more before anything, just because I still need approval from Warren for this meeting, special meeting. So I don't wanna go off on the guarantee that it's gonna happen. So I wanna cover the bases, and then if it does happen, more in-depth conversation can happen. If not, the September meeting, I will keep most of the agenda really short, and the September meeting will be dedicated to the budget if the special meeting can't happen.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine. That's
So
fine.
I'm still gonna cover it, because it just
Don't feel
has to
too
be
much
covered.
pressure about that. If it's yes, great. If it's not yes, that's fine.
There is,
Can we still try to shoot for the 10 for the walkabout?
Absolutely.
yeah, that's fine. The main thing I wanted to cover, maybe because I double texted Warren to confirm it, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't telling you guys the wrong thing, and I was, so we're gonna cover this again. The tennis court resurfacing, if we get the grant, the rest of the cost still has to be covered. So I was wrong completely, I am very sorry, but the tennis court resurfacing was something that needs to be built in as a capital, and to get in the park and rec and in the park.
It's fine.
Do you
Is
know
that
how much
something
would
that
be?
we have to fill the paperwork for?
He said here, even if we get grant, it is still a 2025 capital project costing roughly $335,000, which is something that can.
335 total,
For,
or just us?
that is,
Total.
no, that's without the grant.
Split in half.
Yeah,
So we
so
were
half of it,
175.
so the grant would probably cover 200,000, and then there'd still be an additional $335,000.
for the resurfacing. So that whole project is
That is,
$500,000.
from what I am reading here,
$500,000.
Yeah, no, thank
is,
you.
this is the
Pass.
wording, even if we do, it's still a 2025 capital project costing $335,000.
I thought the bid was for roughly that amount.
If you might know, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, 500,000 to repave that little area.
The bid was in
Beg
the
your pardon?
300s, I thought.
Okay,
But the bid was also expired, so I don't know if cost went up since then.
okay.
It-
Then-
the cost of-
Then it probably isn't that $500,000. I'm sorry, my brain with this whole.
No, that's
audit
fine.
report
That's
just
one
truly-
way of saying
truly
don't go overboard this year, because we're still spending a lot of money.
I've been looking at a lot of numbers this last week, and I'm
Do you know when
scrambling.
the bid came in? Like, what year?
Oh, I think it was this year, but
This year?
it had already expired, yeah.
Well, it's not, like, so basically, the price of asphalt is,
Can you
like,
offer
is,
anything on this?
like, directly correlated to the price of, like, fuel. So if a barrel of oil hasn't changed much, the price is not gonna change much.
Okay. All right, well, if I go off this just as a basis, not the dollar amount, but based on the amount the skate park grant covered, it would probably still be
How much?
anywhere from 175,000 to 200,000 built into the budget from our side.
Okay.
Roughly, this is based on how much the skate park
Yeah,
grant
yeah, yeah.
covered.
I mean, it gives us a ballpark.
Which that is something that the township, to my knowledge, is on board with doing that repaving. So that could be like the one big capital budget thing if you guys wanted to cover. You can still build other things in the budget, absolutely, if you wanted to add another, multiple more capital budget things. If they are worth the township's time and they benefit the township, they're gonna take a look at it, and they're gonna give it a good look, because if it benefits the township, it benefits everybody. So, by benefits the township, I mean the township, not the staff.
Yeah.
So it was, the CoStar's bid was $330,000.
Okay.
And Warren had told me when I inquired, that the grant we were applying for had a soft cap of $250,000.
Okay. So,
So depending on if we get that grant,
You're looking at almost 100,000.
yeah, like 80 to 100. But like I said,
But
that
that's
bid
not
was
something
expired.
we need to when we're preparing for our request for 2025.
yeah,
That's
so
not
this,
something we
this
need to-
request is, would be based off of assuming we get the grant. If we don't get the grant, this request would probably be rejected, just because it would be such a huge
Oh, yeah, no.
budget item.
Is that something that we have to fill out this paper?
No.
No, that's already,
Yes, no, no, yes, that
What,
will go on
the-
here.
the
Resurfacing of the.
Of the court, that will go on here for the additional expenses that are not covered by the grant.
We need to apply for that?
That is, yeah, that is what this paper would be used for.
But the grant was already submitted
Yep,
for $250,000.
for the, we're aiming for the maximum amount that they'll give us, but maybe that's
And
maybe.
that's a match though, right?
Soft cap, so it could be more, could be less.
But I'm saying if it's,
Yes.
let's just say 400,000, and we have to do two, they have to do two. I don't think it's
Mm,
250 and then we make up the difference. Kind of like the skateboard thing.
Oh, is it 50/50? Is it 50/50?
Yeah, so.
So it's gonna be like 175.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you would fill out that paper, this paper, and just request that amount, and for that project, and submit to the board of supervisors, and that would be, like, once again, that just, if you guys request things like money to buy water guns, or painting and stuff like that, you can put that elsewhere if it gets approved. So that $175,000 would come out of a separate budget under the parking lot, for lack of a better word.
Does the township have a separate township capital project budget?
Yes, and it's used for,
So the skate park would come out of that,
no, skate park came out of Park and Rec.
but
They put money
They
into
put
our
money in,
rec
and then it technically,
to have the
not
money.
skate park, I'm sorry, the repaving.
that would also come out of Park and Rec. It's a very
Capital
confusing
is
concept.
taxed a completely different way, so you want to,
Yeah, this may be a conversation you might want to more to call for, because truly, the specifications of that, I don't want. But
Government budget is way different than,
corporate.
way different.
would it
Long
possibly?
story short, it's It's gonna have to come, it's coming out of Park and Rec request.
Yes, it's coming out of a parking rec request, yes.
So we need to request that amount, and you weren't saying 335?
That's the,
If without a grant?
no, yeah, without the grant, it'd be 335.
So when I fill this form out, I'm asking for
No,
335.
you're gonna ask for 175.
Okay, thank you.
The other thing is, when we originally wrote our letter to the supervisors, we suggested that additional quotes were obtained. So I think that our request for the money kind of also hinges on that letter. I don't know, were there any additional quotes obtained? I think that would help us
We don't.
kind of determine if we should be supporting something or not. Because that seems like a very steep price for.
The thing is, for a project like this, because we're municipal government, we have to put it out to bid.
Yes,
So we
but only
have
certain.
our quotes, but for a project of that size, it would go out to bid, and it would,
I'm saying like a bid outside of co-stars. Because only certain.
go outside of those size.
In order for you to get the grant, you have to
You have
meet the
to.
criteria of the
You
grant.
have
to.
And
Yeah.
that's all for stars
Yeah.
and the approved vendors that you can go to, so you can't just go to Joe over there who does paving, unfortunately. So
Okay.
you have to go to,
I didn't know that
Or,
was a requirement.
I mean, if there's that much of a price difference, but there's usually not, if there's that much of a price difference, then you can say, the hell with the grant.
And it's cheaper to do it on our own.
Normally you don't.
It's how we get a lot of our approval to the state by dealing with co-stars, because we're on co-stars pricing, and every single co-stars vendors submits their pricing to the state at the end of the year, and their estimates, and then if we go under that, our liquid fuels and all that fun stuff gets covered and protected essentially.
When do we know if the grant's been approved?
Like I said, they never gave us an actual date, they just said it all.
So how are we supposed to ask for a specific number for next year if we don't know what they're gonna cover or not cover?
Miranda, you may want to check with Warren.
Yeah.
My
Because we
opinion would be the township's kind of planning this project. So for you guys to kind of back into it and say, well, we need this for this, like, he's got them numbers and he's working with that, he's applying for the grant. So in my opinion, I would take all these other projects that you guys are wanting to put together, come up with numbers for that, and then leave that project as an asterisk note. Warren's, working on this part of the work.
All right, that makes a lot more sense.
You're gonna put yourself in a circle trying to figure out what he probably has already
That's
been.
kind of, okay.
Yeah,
Or-
we should,
I like that idea.
it should install with our projects that we have.
That's what we need to focus on, not.
Okay.
That's kind of what.
Like I said, I think it's his general way of saying, hey, we're still spending a lot of money next year, so don't get crazy with your.
I mean, and then your stuff is probably gonna be, and then that project will be there too. It's just for your, I wouldn't think that you guys should spend a whole lot of time on that project part of it, because you don't know, like the co-star stuff and the grant details, et cetera, et cetera.
So I would
If you
get,
piece that in, and you guys bring in your Friday nights games, whatever, and then that goes into that.
so I think Warren should fill this out for this.
I think it's a formality that needs to come from us.
No, I don't think we should fill this out at all, because he knows more about this than anybody.
He's confusing me with these texts. Okay, he said, request 350,000 with the hope of a 50% back in DNCR or DCNR.
Mhm.
Once again, I really wish I could give you guys more logistics, but
But-
Warren and his manager, Brian, is the one who knows all this, but he is saying to request 350,000.
I think,
It's a formality.
this is
I've done
hard
it.
to fill
I
out,
can do it.
whatever.
Okay, so he's essentially saying he will handle all logistics. It's just the
Before,
it
it's a
has to
formality.
come from the parking lot.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
if
He's
he
a
will handle it.
request 350K with hopes of matching or half grant.
Oh,
Yeah,
we have to
yes.
go tonight.
No.
No.
So we'll do
I'm
that
taking my
tomorrow,
notes, 'cause
our
I'll
budget
forget
meeting.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we can discuss that as an line item.
Okay. And each individual project needs this?
So these are for the capital budget requests. You
Okay.
guys can fill out something similar to this. I mean, you can even use it as a guide for your smaller requests.
So like
but
our
the
Friday fund, we could
specifications-
break it
Yeah,
down
the
and have one
specifications in
sheet
here.
weekly
Change it,
expense,
yeah.
food expense, that stuff, okay?
So capital stuff would be Pollinator Garden, disc golf
It's
course,
over $10,000.
stuff like that, right?
That's
I think it's at 5,000?
Is it?
5,000 in long lasting, if I remember correctly.
Didn't you find a grant for the plants?
Yeah, the deadline was like a week.
It was a super short.
But can we do it for next year?
Yeah, you could. I think, my hope is that we get a lot of the stuff donated.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Or at least if you're started and you want to expand with the grant,
Yeah,
would be a
the
good,
grants are like incredibly long to fill out, but I was finding, like, even for, like, hiring a grant writer, but it's not worth that, it's $8,000.
Okay.
But, I'd be happy to look into it. I was actually gonna ask, like, do you think it would be possible to see the grant that was written for the skate park, or for the resurfacing?
I'll request it for more and see.
Because I'm thinking, like, it might be helpful to look at, because some of the projects, if they don't get approved, via put in the budget, like, I would certainly write a grant for something, I just struggle with, like, knowing exactly how to.
Yeah, the logistics of it.
Yeah, and it's hard to find ones online that are comparable, like,
Comparable, yes,
yeah.
yeah.
So we know what people are expecting when they review them. Because DCNR, you can throw grants for $1 million. Crazy. And like, you look at the list of the ones they've awarded, some of them are $4,000, so we could use it for something.
Yeah.
Specifically.
No, it's good.
Any more on the budget?
That was the biggest one I wanted to cover. Like I said, I will check with Warren about that special budget meeting and see if we can get on the books. If not, I'm going to keep the agenda for September compact. Any items that don't need discussing will not be on it, and it'll be mostly budget meeting. We can't get that special
budget
one.
and ribbon cutting would be about it
Yeah.
for the agenda for,
Fun Fridays will be over, yeah.
Mhm.
Fun Fridays will be over for the summer.
Yeah.
A couple of other things will come in.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go, circle back to fundraising.
so, I have one thought. I just wanted to see if you guys would, we talked about the storybook trail and stuff. I have a girl that paints for schools, does this, does that, but she has some really cool ideas for like the people, the walk like a crab, hop squat, leap like a frog, side to side. It could be a cool little like, as you're walking around, you're not gonna get tired of, I mean, how many times, do you think your kid's gonna run to the storybook every week? Let's go to the storybook.
Yeah.
Is that related to the United Way thing?
No, this is a girl that does stuff. She lives in North Carolina, she has family here, so I'm sure she would work out a deal that she'd be doing it. But down there, they must have school spirit rocks.
Yeah.
And she literally, for birthdays, whatever, goes out and it's crazy, this stuff this girl can do. but-
I think
It's
that'd be
just
great
a-
for walking path. Like it used to have like hopscotch and stuff.
Yeah, that would be like
Okay.
another thing. That was tied into the United
Weren't they
Way.
related to
So
the
it was
United
tied
Way
in.
signs?
I'm
So-
99% sure of it.
So that's kind of passe. Do you think we should leave the United Way signs in there, or do you think we should switch over, see what this lady can do for
Or
us?
just repaint it, I didn't, so there are some things there?
Yeah.
Well, I think you just, because the United Way signs are almost gone. Like they're,
And they're expensive too.
And they were
When you
very
replace them,
expensive
They
to
really
replace.
suck your heart.
Yeah,
so it might be better to do the storybook trail and have like just fun things on the, like as the kids are walking around, they can hop around or do whatever.
Yeah, I'll check into it, I'll have it ready for the budget.
yeah,
With
perfect.
the goal of replacing the United Way path, because it's
Yeah, I mean, I
no
think,
longer.
yeah, I think get rid of the signs, because replacing them, I forget the number.
It was crazy expensive.
It's
Yeah.
$2,000.
Yeah, something like that. So, I mean, unless she comes in at $2,000, then do we revamp the United Way signs and, I mean, kind
Well,
of.
if the signs are there, we can leave it.
Yeah,
I've been painting tiles all summer.
yeah,
We can
It's
use
easy.
we can use the posts and put the storybook trail on the post.
Yeah, and whatever
And
that,
that way we recycled, right?
yeah.
Because the only thing that is tired are the signs. The
Yeah.
posts are probably still pretty well anchored.
Yeah.
Wow, we just came up, we just
call
figured
it.
something out. Big going end on that.
All right, and then, I guess, do we want to cover the fundraising? Oh, sorry, real quick.
Joe?
I can go real
What do we
quick.
got?
So we have, all right, we read out the really important things. So definitions, donations, and sponsorship. So donations are just people who want to give money towards this, a fund, not for anything in particular. Like if they give it to Park and Rec, you guys are free to use it for what you want it for. A sponsorship is somebody's going to donate something for a specific use and purpose. So that's just the definitions there. That's not important right now for this. Also not important right now.
We need a spot.
Hold on one second.
We need a spot. A spot that we can maybe lay some bricks down. Put some names on them, raise some funds.
Actually, that would be perfect if in the Pollinator Garden, this brick thing,
We need a
you have
spot.
people buy bricks.
That's right.
Yeah.
That
then
would
you
be a
engrave them,
reasonable
and
amount,
then-
yeah.
And that would be a great way to start this whole fundraising thing.
Well, that's a sponsorship from my,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's used for a specific
Yeah,
purpose.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Specific purpose is to
build the
build the
brick.
Pollinator.
Yeah, that would be
What do you think,
a
Sam?
sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from what I'm reading here, sponsorships and donations absolutely allowed. Once I'm gonna run this back to Beth one more time to get solidified with Honeybrook Township, just because she sent me one, but I don't know if it's solidified with our township. But both would be allowed, as long as they follow the guidelines, and as soon as I get this solidified, I will send you all a copy. The guidelines are essentially no lewdness, no sponsorships for a cigarette company, no
Yeah.
things that don't match the township values, stuff like that. And there is even a little form thing on here, which, once again, I'm gonna email that tomorrow, have her solidify this with our township name, approved, good to go. And then once that's ready, I will send this to you guys, but from what I'm reading here, we can accept it.
If we accept them, do we have a place, like, say we went to like one of the local businesses and they said, here's a check for $1,000, what do we do with it? Do we give it to you guys, like we bring it to the township and they have an
Yes,
account
you
for
would
us?
bring it
Or
up and put it in the park and rec fund.
Okay.
If it's for something specific, I'm sure we have to figure out
Maybe
the
do a
mistakes on
separate
making
one.
sure that stays aside for that.
Do we not even touch the money, and do we just have a place where we can have them send it?
That would be better.
Yeah, they can always mail it to the township and
Okay.
we'll know.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna need the protocol for.
Yep, and like I said, as soon as
Thanks,
it's
man.
mailed in, it'll be right to you guys.
Is there a form or something that
Yeah.
we can,
Yeah, there's this,
no, to give to?
this fun little
Oh, yeah.
thing, not everybody can see it, but it's just, it's a basis outline, we'll have our name there. It's a form with some lines on it.
Okay.
Essentially, your name, if you wanna look at it, you can go over here and look at it at the end of the meeting, but yes, we will have a form you can give it to people if they want to do that.
Okay, awesome.
And that's for them too, for their tax purposes.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Cool.
Cool, I think this would be a great pilot project to start on that little brick thing.
Yeah, I think it'd be perfect.
Down there and run.
Yeah.
So I guess the last thing I want to ask is, so how would we advertise that? The same way we advertise
I mean,
Family Fun Fridays? Is the township puts out can the township solicit?
Which thing, sorry?
So how would we go about getting that word out there? The same way as we do the Family Fun Fridays, or the township?
or like
does
say
it?
if we wanted to sell bricks,
Yeah,
Oh,
or
okay.
like help sponsor
the pollinator.
Pollinator Garden, buy a brick with your name on it,
Yeah,
a year or something.
Yeah, skate park, ribbon cutting night would be a good, yeah, they even have a table with a couple of the flowers in here.
Yeah,
Take
that stuff
donations
to
right
me
there,
is-
also try to get
Yeah,
us on
the
the bricks.
Honeybrook Rec and Park page would be the place to start with that, and then I'm sure you could, I'm pretty confident you put that out there for the township forums, because if we have this, I can't think of a proper word, but these guidelines for this type of sponsorship and stuff like that, then we'll all follow them.
You know where we could get bricks cut like that?
Yeah, I was reading, I checked that all over, there's people who actually put names on bricks and sell.
Well, I would say you could, I would order one with like an example, like say, like Humboldt Park, and then we could even, at the last one Friday, we could have it sitting there.
That could be part of the table on Harmony Day.
Yep, well,
Oh,
It's not Harmony Day.
that's not happening. But for, like, if we move this up somewhere, like, on like the poster board, and then have like the brick, it's like help sponsor at the skate park thing, in, the end of October.
And we're gonna want a brick that says like Honeybrook Parks and Record 2024
Yeah,
or
but maybe
whatever.
we get like a 1 by 1, and like make that like a center brick, and then you put all the other little bricks around it.
Well, so we're coming up with dimensions, so if you want to do a little
Yeah.
research on those companies that I found, and maybe you could come up with, so we get them all from one company.
Yeah.
So if this does work, we pick one company, we get them all from one company, same writing, and would you mind
No, not at all, yeah.
leading that? That'd be great. Is that,
I'm good with that.
you go with that?
I think that might work out great. I mean, instead of donating plants, you're getting people donating money so that you can get whatever plants you want. And depending on how we do, I mean, I don't know how much a brick would actually cost to make, but
Yeah, I wonder how much like you paid for.
It's,
They how much you have to sell them for to get the.
Yeah, if you actually like get a little bit of donation.
a few that I
I've
saw.
seen fence posts and I've seen bricks. The bigger, I say fence post, your picket fence with fence post.
The few
The
that,
logistics of doing something now to the point of truly making money is a nightmare for anyone doing it. Because of all those reasons, and as it goes on, I know even during one of many planning sessions, whether it was the comp plan for total recreation, comp plan for that, the people that were in the business of designing parks and doing all that kind of stuff were like, there. So it would be nice if we wanted to try it with a small area such as the Pollinator Garden, but to try to think we're gonna fund the skate park on the bricks, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
no, that's the point. The point is to get some fundraising started. But the few that,
People use it for-
$20.
the few that, yeah, see, the few that I saw, they were
So if
great.
you say 40, you make it $20 per brick.
Is
Or if
that
you say
great?
100, you're making $80 a brick.
So I don't think, we're not that high income. I think you start with maybe like even $30, and you have like 200 bricks.
Yeah,
That's $2,000.
we could discuss it. Yeah.
Or you might decide to have the bricks and let the person like sign the brick themselves.
Oh,
So
that's-
this way you're not involved in etching or whatever, and they just do a handwritten brick in some sort of like permanent
That's a good
marker
idea.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just.
We did our fun Friday, it could be paid a brick.
Yeah, it could be.
Yes.
So they might be all different colors.
And
Not
it could be
that far off,
full.
Sherry.
It's
Not
like
that
a big-
far off. That's not a bad idea. You get a box, get a skin of bricks,
Well, it'd be
and have the
colorful,
kids,
I
and have
bet.
the kids paint them.
And you might decide at that point too, like what's the minimum? Like,
Yeah.
does $5 count as a donation?
Yeah.
And entitling you to bricks, because with the 12 by 12 area, you're not gonna have, I don't know, 100 bricks, 50 bricks, I mean,
Yeah.
I was thinking 12 by 12 would be like
That's the whole garden.
the whole garden, but like, what, how big's the brick area?
12 inch by 12 inch
Oh, you don't-
brick.
He's talking about pavers.
for
Yeah, like a
So-
paper.
And then you
As
have the
the-
little ones around it. So like the middle one would say like Humboldt Park, Pollinator Garden established the date. And then around it is all
Little bricks
people.
around it.
So you can go ahead and figure out how big the bricks are, right?
Yeah, of course, and
Appreciate it.
I'll try to find some sort of work to have as an example, but even if it's not the company to go with it, at least you can say that.
Yeah. And if we want to just go with the bricks with no names on them and pay them on ourselves or whatever, we'd have to figure out what's going to last. But it doesn't sound like it's impossible.
No, I like that idea.
You could do like, Ocean City, Maryland does the same thing on the boardwalk, you can buy a bench. And that bench has a plaque on it with your name on it for X amount of years. And then after that, you can either pay to re-up and do maintenance on the bench, or it gets sold again. I mean, we can do that with benches in the park, we can do that other stuff in the park too. And you can even have, instead of having people do it, because a bench could cost $1,000, you could have businesses do it. You know, you have, Jerry's Pizza Bench, you have, Papa Mark's Pizza Bench or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
You good?
Any other business? Anyone? Any other business? Okay. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second, third,
All
final.
those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for coming along. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to say, you guys, I want to say it on record, but the turnout, everyone's showing up, and with the family on Friday, it's a bit of a roller coaster ride, but we're real happy and proud
Thank you.
to be part of it. So,
For the first year, it's doing pretty well.
yeah, I'd like to hear about Kiosk-September.